So this video is going to show you how to create a snowflake in Inventor. You're going to create, just like you would when cutting a snowflake out of paper, you're going to just draw one wedge of it and it's going to then pattern. So this just gives you some examples of what you could do with CAD snowflakes. You can see a variety of shapes just like you would if you were cutting them out of paper. So let me go to Inventor. This is a snowflake that I made. What you are going to start with, first you're going to want to download this file, Snowflake starter file, and it looks like this when you start it. What this sketch does is it gives you a triangular shaped wedge that you're going to draw your actual flake pattern inside of, and then you're going to extrude it and pattern it. So let me show you what I mean by that. Just to give you an example, my sketch that I drew inside that wedge looked like this. Okay, so there's the purple lines that are there when you start, and the green lines, which indicates they're unconstrained, are what I drew to create my snowflake. When I hit finish sketch, that's what the first wedge will look like. And then you're going to mirror it, and then you create 6 patterns of it. So I don't expect you to know what all that means yet. I'm just trying to give you a concept for what it's going to look like. So let's go to the starter file. You open the sketch here, and this is what it looks like. So you're going to want to draw your shape in here and stay within this circle and the 2 other lines. So whatever your shape might be, you'll probably want to sketch this out on paper so that you have an idea for what it might look like. You might want to draw things that look a little bit more like crystalline structures. If you zoom in, all those funny snappings may turn off. Right, and I'm doing this really quickly. Hopefully you spend a little more time on it. You can see that it stops connecting the 2 lines. That's because I'm already on this purple line, which is fine. You could use the mirror tool here to make this little crystalline structure actually look the same on both sides. Right, so you're going to want to do a better job than... Why did that not connect? Oh, I don't know what happened there. None of my lines were connecting. So I'm going to go back and connect that. You're definitely going to want to make sure that your lines connect, because that's how you know that your sketch will be closed. Right, and now maybe I'll just do something like this. Doesn't have to touch in the middle. That's just a question of your design. And then I'm going to... It probably won't let me extrude right now. Let's see. Oh, it did. It's seeing the center line. So there's a center line here, and I thought maybe it wouldn't see that as a opening. But if you look, my sketch is now done. I'm going to extrude it. Now I don't want a thick snowflake. That's a little strange. So let's make it look more like a paper snowflake. Maybe 0.1. And hit OK. So now I have 1/12 of the snowflake. All right. Now what you want to do is mirror this. So I'm going to click this button. This is the mirror tool. If you look at that picture, it shows you that it takes an object and mirrors it around a plane. So that's why I have this plane turned on. This plane right here, you can see it's visible. So I'm going to hit mirror. I'm going to pick my extrusion. If you have multiple extrusions here, you can pick multiples. And now for mirror plane, click that button. So you pick that up, and now you can pick this yellow plane and hit OK. And now you can see, there it is. We have 1/6 of our snowflake now. Now the last thing that's left to do is to circular pattern this. So what this does, if you look at this picture that just popped up, it takes a feature and revolves or circular patterns it around an axis point. So I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to pick both halves of my snowflake. You can pick them here in the design window, or you can pick them over in the model browser. Now for the rotation axis, you're going to find the center axis that I have turned on, which is this little guy right here. You could also pick it up right here. That's the z-axis. So it's just the axis that's going through the middle of our snowflake. And I'm going to hit OK. This is the kind of thing, just so you know, if you wanted more of them, you could do more here, but you would have had to make it a smaller angle through which the sketch was created. I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see there's my snowflake. That's a little funny. It looks a bit like a fence, a poorly drawn fence, because as you can see, all these things that I didn't constrain or make parallel is now seeming glaringly obvious that it's a pretty lousy, poorly designed sketch. And that's just me criticizing my own because I did it so quickly. If you don't want to see this plane, which I agree, why don't we turn the visibility of that off? You can turn the visibility of your axis off, and now it's just a straight up snowflake. Just a couple hints. If you look at this, if I zoom in, this part here is completely separate from that. So that means if I were to actually cut this out of paper, which we may do, that would fall out. So that doesn't work. Another thing here, this comes to a point, which doesn't also work well for paper cuts, because then this would just flop around relative to that. If you want to see why that happened in my sketch, you can see it's because I had two separate extrusions that I made. So you shouldn't really do two separate extrusions because that just means that two things will fall out. The other thing in my sketch is I had a point out here on the outside. So if we go and look at my sketch, here's where you can see this was one extrusion and then this area was another extrusion, and here's where I had the sketch come to a point on the outside surface. So those are two features you might want to avoid. Okay, so now the last question is, how do you export this to be cut on the Cricut? It's pretty simple. You just are going to click on your whole snowflake. Hopefully you only have one extrusion so that it's only one piece. Right click, and now you're going to say export face as. And a DXF is good. And we can just call this snowflake. Maybe by Miss G. I'm going to give it a 2 because it's the second one I made. And hit save. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is go to the internet and search up Cricut, which is the name of the machine that cuts the paper and vinyl stickers. And you just want the Cricut design space. And it's going to walk you through some questions. So you can click here and say we have the Explore family. The login, it already automatically logged in for me, but the login is our standard CAD login. And now down here you can just say new project. If you get this prompt, just go through the download. It'll probably give you an error, but then it'll let you go ahead and do what you need to do. So you can click on this and say run. I'm going to just pause this recording so you don't have to watch this. Okay, my computer just went through the install. Yours, however, will probably not let you do that. So if it says there's a problem, just say abort or cancel, and it will hopefully bring you to this screen. So now all you need to do here, you're in the workspace, you can just say upload and find your image. So say upload image, click browse, and now this is where you need to know where you saved it. So I put it under let me pause this so you don't have to watch me fumble. Okay, so here's where my snowflake is. You need the DXF file. If you're not sure if that's the DXF, whoa, what happened here? Hold on, I think I clicked out of my window. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why this is doing this to me. Hold on a second. Okay, just select the one that says DXF here. Okay, so now you're going to want to hit upload. I'm running out of recording time though, so we'll have to pick this video up. And just say insert images. Oh, yep, there's the end of the recording.